I've said this, that I think Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark, the rivalry is great. I don't need Caitlin Clark to win everything. It's a magic bird thing, back and forth. If Angel Reese wins Rookie of the Year, good for her. I like the back and forth. But I just want to tell you that Caitlin Clark last night had 19 assists in a game to set a league record. She's a rookie on a bad team. She has scored or assisted on 66 points, 71% of the Fever's points. That's the most ever in league history. She's breaking records every week. So part of the silliness of not allowing her on the Olympic team is she was a very quickly improving player, and now you kind of look silly. She's arguably the best playmaker in the league, arguably the second best three-point shooter in the league. I don't know. They seem valuable in Olympic competition, and she's not on the team. But yesterday, they also announced the skills competition for the WNBA All-Star team, and she didn't make that either. She didn't make the three-point shooting contest?
Unbelievable.
So you argued she wasn't good for the Olympics. Your argument, though I don't buy it, but it was your argument, women's basketball, that she would be a distraction. I roll, but okay. So isn't the perfect place to put her in the skills competition, where she's one of the best three-point shooters, and she's a highly skilled player?
I'm about to go nuts.
So now what is it? Pettiness, gatekeeping, insular, dumb? If you're not going to put her in the Olympics, you're 0 for 1. Now you're not putting her in the skills competition. She quadrupled the ratings. Nobody's going to watch that skills competition. They would have, highlighting Clark and other players. Thank God the WNBA didn't go 0 for 3. They did find it in their heart to put her on the WNBA All-Star team. But she'll probably be at the end of the bench and struggle to get minutes, I would imagine. But, I mean, it's almost hard rooting for women's basketball. You're like, it cracks me up how they treat her.
Say what you want to feel, what you feel.
If you really think about it.
Be honest, Colin.
They're trying to get her to pay her dues, but she's the one paying all the fees. She's the reason you're flying private. She's paying for everything, and you want her to pay her dues. It's really ridiculous. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but Bird and Magic came into the league, and they put them on everything. They tried to highlight them because the NBA was more secure in itself. They understood Bird and Magic could elevate all the players, the league, the revenue, the pie, the pettiness. You got to get her in the skills competition. What are you doing? You should have her on the Olympic team. What are you doing? Last night, he got 19 assists. By the way, you know who was in the dunk contest his rookie year? Michael Jordan. They got Michael Jordan in the dunk contest. He didn't have to pay his dues. Everybody was like, get that kid in the dunk contest. Oh, WNBA. I mean, for years and years, you wanted all this attention. We finally pay it. You have somebody that can absolutely, as a catalyst, get you more attention. And you're now very precious. You're experts. Insula. Gatekeeping. You're exhausting. Hi.
No, they are dumb. It is insane what the WNBA is doing. Okay? This is not just gatekeeping or paying your dues. Enough of that narrative. That's not what this is. They do not want Caitlin Clark to be who she is. It burns them to their soul, to their being, that Caitlin Clark is absolutely taking over women's sports as a whole. Okay? They hate it. They can't stand it. Do you think if this was Angel Reese, there would be the same level of gatekeeping and lack of promotion? It's because of who Caitlin Clark is and what they believe she represents. And it's getting exhausting, and it is a disgrace. It is absurd. Okay? She is doing more in 26 games than these women have done in 27 years. Let me say it one more time. She has done more in 26 games as a rookie than these women have done in 27 years. Okay? She's not paying the dues. She is creating the universe. She is the one that is making the WNBA anything. Because before her, it was literally nothing. Nothing. Go walk down the street and ask anyone to name a WNBA player not named Caitlin Clark. They won't be able to do it. The average person won't be able to do it. It was a league that nobody watched, that nobody cared about, and Colin Cowherd and Stephen A. Smith and Nick Ray and any of these guys were not mentioning the WNBA for a second. I would never watch a WNBA game. Here, yet last night, I'm watching this game, I'm working out, watching it, I got my eyes glued to it. I mean, it's unreal. And they still go out of their way to make the presentation itself unwatchable. I mean, Caitlin Clark has all these records going on, and they don't even mention it in the game. They don't mention what she has done, the points that she has scored, how she's the fastest player to reach, I think, 400 points and 200 assists, or whatever the exact number is. I forget off the top of my head. Because they don't remind us during the broadcast. It's just absurd. If this was the NFL or the NBA, the broadcast reminds us every 5 seconds how special Steph Curry is, how special LeBron James is, how special Mahomes is. They show us highlights of previous games, previous moments. They let us know what records they are breaking in this historic season. They do it all the time. But not in the WNBA, not in the Caitlin Clark games. I swear, I'm not exaggerating. I watched every minute of that game. I swear I think they showed Boston more than they showed Caitlin Clark. Caitlin Clark is setting the record for the most assists in a single game. And I really think that they were showing the other players more than her. It's kind of unreal. It really is. Because in fact, even if you go to like the ESPN highlights or the WNBA highlights on YouTube and you search it and you watch the highlights, you'll see that there's very few moments that they actually zoom in and show like Caitlin Clark herself, right? Obviously you're watching her play, but the moments when they kind of like are not playing or they're running down the court and you can kind of like really zoom into the individual person, even in those highlights, they barely had it. Because they don't want to do it. They want to highlight everyone else but her. And it's insane. It's absolute, utter insanity at this point. There's no other way to put it. It's discrimination. I mean, like, that's what it is. This isn't paying dues. They do not want her to be successful because of who she is. There's no other way to look at it. Colin wants to say that. For whatever reason, he's not exactly explicitly saying it. He's trying to say it. He's calling the WNBA silly and saying, like, what are you doing? But call it what it is. And it's a disaster. I said this the other night, last night when I made my other video about Caitlin Clark when she set the record. That should have felt historic. That should have felt like we were all watching that and we were all part of something. That we were all watching this experience. And we all felt like we were together watching it. Like a lot of us sports fans felt like when we watch, say, Patrick Mahomes doing greatness. When we saw Patrick Mahomes versus Josh Allen in that 13-second game. When we watched Steph Curry, knock down threes from literally Philadelphia all the way to the Bay Area. Right? It felt like you're watching something special that you were all collectively part of. That's not what it feels like with Caitlin Clark. Because the WNBA is going out of their way to not make it that. The fact that she's not for the All-Star game, that she's not in those other events is insane. Think about this. What are we talking about? She's not in any of those competitions in the 3-point shooting contest. Like, what are we talking about? If you want to make the argument that she shouldn't be on the Olympics, which I think is the wrong argument, at least it's a justifiable argument. We could understand that. But Caitlin Clark, for the All-Star weekend, however their All-Star events play out, her not being plastered, the most popular player in the WNBA and all of women's sports, and honestly, right now, Caitlin Clark is the most popular athlete in this exact moment, in July, the summer. Summers are very dead. She is without a doubt the most popular athlete. Right now, she is more popular than Steph Curry and LeBron James. Not a doubt in my mind. I have you see the data. Go search Caitlin Clark videos. The numbers are through the roof relative to a video about LeBron James or Steph or anyone else. It's not even close. It's not even close. Caitlin Clark's numbers for views and on YouTube, whatever, is through the roof. She's the most popular athlete right now. And you're going to tell me that she's not going to be all over the All-Star weekend? That she's not going to be plastered all over and heightened and starting and playing lots of minutes? It's just unreal. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. You go to ESPN, you wouldn't even know that she just broke this record. That what she's doing is literally historic. I mean, people are talking about Rookie of the Year. Man, she's literally proving to be an MVP candidate. No ifs, ands, or buts. I'm not saying that she is the best player in the WNBA right now, but you, without a doubt, can make the argument that she is the most valuable player. It's not up for debate. She is without a doubt top 3, top 5 most players for most valuable player. There's no way you could argue against it at this point. Everything she is doing, from her points scored, from her assists, I mean, it's just outrageous at this point. There was bigger energy for Angel Reese's double-doubles, for her going like 12 and 10 in a game, than her going 24 and 19. And for those of you who did not watch this game, she absolutely positively could have gone for 25 assists. Without a doubt. They could just hit shots and make layups. She absolutely positively could have had 25 assists, which then would have also helped her score more. She, without a doubt, could have gone 30 and 25. I'm not exaggerating. I watched every second of that game. And that's conservative. If her team was just 5% better, she goes 30 and 25. Not a doubt in my mind. What she's doing is insane. Absolute insanity. Her passing is better than I've seen in NBA games. And I'm not exaggerating. I'm really not. I'm not saying that she could ball out in the NBA. I'm not that crazy. But what she's doing is insane. And it is genuinely enjoyable to watch. But the WNBA goes out of their way to make sure that you don't enjoy it to the max, which is comically hilarious. Caitlin Clark is everything to the WNBA. And the WNBA is nothing to Caitlin Clark. It's just such a one-way street in that regard. There's no reciprocation. The WNBA needs Caitlin Clark. Caitlin Clark does not need the WNBA. She is inevitable. And like I said in a previous video, because Colin's like, what are they doing with her? They finally got eyes. They finally got what they wanted. And now they're treating it like this. It's literally like getting a gift. It's like you hate your partner, your girlfriend, your boyfriend. You want to break up with them. You're going to break up with them. You've been fighting like crazy. But you have moments where like that person's kind of nice towards you. And you're just like, yeah, thank you for dinner. But like, I just don't want this from you. Like, I'm happy I got to eat. I'm happy I went out to dinner. I'm happy, for this date, I guess. But like, I just don't want it. That's how the WNBA is treating Caitlin Clark. They rather struggle and be who they've been than give it up to Caitlin Clark and enhance, because it hurts them to their soul to have Caitlin Clark be the face of the WNBA. They so desperately want it to be Wilson, Reese, the one woman coming out of college, I forget her name now. Juju, is that her name? I don't even know, because it doesn't matter, because she's not Caitlin Clark. That's the point. It's just crazy to me, man. It really, really is. And it's just, it's such a missed opportunity, and the WNBA doesn't see it as that, right? And they want to be victims about it. They don't want to give Caitlin Clark her flowers, and it's just, at this point, it's getting pretty pathetic. It really, really is. And I wish there was somewhere else at this point Caitlin Clark could go. Earlier in the season, I said, because a lot of people were saying Caitlin Clark should leave. And I said, no. I think it would be better for her to absolutely take over the WNBA. And I still do believe that. But it is getting to the point where it's like, on one side, I want her to dominate and show everyone that's right. I took over. I am the best. I'm inevitable. But they will never accept her. They never want her to be the face. They never will want her to be the face. There's not a doubt in my mind, no matter how good she is, no matter what she does. They will not want it. No doubt in my mind. And so it would be cool in another parallel universe to have her be like, all right, I'm going to go over here now and watch your sinking ship of the WNBA to prove to you, yeah, it was all me. You Angel Reese and these other women can say, it's not all because of Caitlyn. You want proof that it's all because of Caitlyn? All right, I'm going to leave. Let's see what happens. Let's see how many people are watching those games. Let's watch the ratings literally crash. Like the housing crisis and the housing bubble in 2008. You'll see it just take a nosedive. People only care about Caitlin Clark right now. And if you treat Caitlin Clark like who she's meant to be treated as, they will begin to like other players. Most fans are introduced to a sport because of a single player. That's how it happens. When you are a young kid or even like an older person who's now just getting introduced to a sport, it's because of a singular player. When you're 8 years old, you hear about Patrick Mahomes and you say, I love Patrick Mahomes. And then you keep watching and you say, I love Travis Kelce. Whoa, Josh Allen. You probably won't like Josh Allen if you're a Mahomes fan. Right? You're a LeBron James fan. And then you become a Kyrie fan, an Anthony Davis fan, an Embiid fan, a Steph fan. That's how it happens. You get introduced to a sport because of a singular player. That's the way how it's always been, at least for the last 20, 30 years. It's no doubt. People don't become fans of a league for just the general players. Oh, I love the way these women play and their fundamentals. It's because of an individual player. And that is what Caitlin Clark is doing. Man, it's crazy to me. It's just crazy to me that like, I understand maybe in the very beginning why these conversations and these videos were necessary, these takes were necessary, but the fact that we're now this deep into the season, this deep into Caitlin Clark's greatness, and we're acting, and we still have to like fight for this like attention, is insane to me. It's insane to me. It really is, and I'm just like, every time I think like, okay, I said what I said, and I'm not gonna like have much more to say on the topic, things like this happen. Caitlin Clark gets snubbed from like the actual All-Star events. Just madness. Just madness. But those are just my thoughts. I would absolutely love to hear yours. What do you guys all think about Caitlin Clark's just absolute historic season so far? And what do you think about her being snubbed from All-Star events? Insane. Let me know in the comments below. I read every single comment, so whether you agree with me or disagree with me, either way, let's get in some discussions, let's get in some fights, but ultimately, let's just have some fun. And please do consider subscribing. We are building an amazing community here, and I would absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all genuinely feel connected to, something that we're really excited to be part of, and I think we're well on our way to doing it. And please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it really does help with the visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much, and see you next time.